All right, so what are my first impressions of the Clean by Pan the Organizer line of products? All right, guys, today is the day I'm finally going to give you my first impressions of the Clean by Pan the Organizer lineup of chemicals. So I'm going to be doing a basic wash on my Cayman here. I have some of the other products in the back. We're going to talk about all of them, but for this purpose, right, we're going to be using 3 in particular, and then, like I said, we'll talk about the others down the road as well. First up, we're going to be using shampoo right here, guys. Now this, he states a dilution for a foam cannon, 1 ounce for good foam, 2 ounces for great foam. I'm using 1 ounce in my MJJC foam cannon. Those things already get great foam anyway, so I'm gonna see what it can do with 1 ounce. For my bucket wash though, it's 256 to 1. So I put in, what was that, 2 ounces for 4 gallons in my bucket. So we'll start off with that. We're gonna start off by foaming the vehicle on. I'll show you guys a walkthrough of the vehicle. It's quite dirty. It's been parked outside. I've been doing stuff in my garage, so it's been parked outside underneath my little cover outside, but still it's gotten quite dusty and dirty. So what we're gonna do is foam the vehicle, let that dwell. We're gonna rinse that off. As that's dwelling though, I am gonna go ahead and agitate my tires, get those cleaned up and prepped for the tire dressing. Anyways, once that's done, I'll rinse it off and then go in for my contact wash with the bucket and a nice microfiber wash pad. Once that's all done, we're going to switch over to this one here, the ceramic spray sealant. Why are we going straight to that? Because he states you can, or at least the directions state, I don't want to say Pan states, although I think it's all his words anyway. So, and Pan, I know you're extremely diligent on all of this stuff. I appreciate that, and I'm sure you're watching. So hello, sir, good to see you. Anyways, guys, there's 3 different methods of use here. We have as a quick detailer on a dry surface. We have it as a drying aid on a wet surface, so you can add that lubrication to your drying process. I personally don't usually do that with something that has protection in it, just because I don't want to clog up my towels. Typically, when you spray that on there, run your towel across, that can give you that hydrophobic property on your towel as well, right? You can clean it out, but it's kind of a pain, so I just typically don't do it. And option number 3 is spray on, rinse off sealant. Now, this is something that I like doing. You can spray it on as the vehicle is wet, right? Spray it onto the surface, rinse it off. It'll spread across the whole surface. You're not leaving as much on. So as you go over with the drying towel, it's not as much of a problem. So I don't mind doing it that way. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it that way. We're going to do the wet application, rinse it off, and then dry. And then we'll also use it as a final detailer, like you also can do, right? As a quick detailer. So we'll do that for our final wipe down. And then from there, we will also dress up our tires using tire dressing. Directions on this just say to apply to a clean and well prepped tire. So the tires on this car have been prepped pretty well. They're pretty much good, but again, I'll agitate them again with the soap. Apply a generous amount onto your tire dressing applicator of choice and spread product evenly on the tire. After 10 minutes of curing, your vehicle could be driven. Enjoy many weeks of tire protection. Now, guys, that's something that we'll be testing as we go, right? This is initial impressions, but we will definitely be testing the longevity of this product as well as the ceramic spray sealant. Now, this vehicle is already ceramic coated, so I'm probably not going to get a good representation of that, but I have a panel back over there, and I will spray this on there and test it that way. I might even, I'll test this up against Jimbo's I don't remember if it's called hardest shell or toughest shell anymore, but because I was actually really surprised and impressed with the hydrophobics of that product as far as a spray sealant goes, a spray ceramic. So maybe I'll do that 50-50 with this and that. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to the process. Like I said, I've already got my chemicals all mixed up over here, so we're just gonna get started. All right, guys, so test number 1 in the foam cannon. Let's see how the stuff foams. 1 ounce in the foam cannon. So I would say that's a completely accurate statement. 1 ounce good foam. That's great. That's very good foam. 2 ounces. Let me add another little bit just to see if we can get it to stack up on itself and get really, really thick. I'm happy with this foam production though at 1 ounce. That's where I would use it personally, just because it's more cost effective to use 1 ounce versus 2. But let's just see by adding another ounce. Now, because I don't have the bottle full of water, I didn't go with a full ounce. I just did a quick little spray just to see. how much more we can get. If it was full, I would add the full ounce, but for dilution purposes, I just went with a little bit. So here we go. Yeah, guys, we're getting it super, super thick now. It's really caking on. It's not as thick as a megafoam, but it is very, very thick. And I will say it's getting fantastic coverage considering this vehicle is ceramic coated. Typically, what happens with the ceramic coated vehicles is it'll just kind of want to bounce off. This is still clinging to the surface. And you can see, look at this coverage here, guys. So I don't know, he talks about having the highest grade ingredients in this. So whatever surfactants and things like that, and they're in this soap, are doing a good job of laying down and getting fantastic coverage. Even though it's not as thick anymore, it's staying on the panel very, very well. So I like that a lot. Let's keep on going. Product smells really good as well. I don't know what the scent is, but it smells very good. Let me try and see if I can. I can't put my nose on it, but it smells nice. All right, guys, so again, the way it sits on the panel is very nice. A lot of times it'll just, when you go, especially with a thick foam, it'll just sheet away. And this is leaving like a secondary layer. You can almost see right here. So the coverage is really good. Look at that, down the whole side. Again, it's really clinging. It's not as thick, but it is doing a fantastic job. It went on nice and thick, giving it a chance to permeate. And now it's holding onto the panel, slowly pulling. But man, the coverage here is fantastic. Yeah, really good. As I'm going, even you can see it's sticking onto the tire really well. So as we're going, I'm gonna go ahead and agitate the tires, get those prepped so that we can use it on, use the tire dressing on a nice fresh surface. All right, guys, that's all prepped. Let's go ahead and rinse this thing off now. Again, we use the soap with 1 ounce and then 2 ounces essentially, but as a pre-treatment. So just letting all of it absorb into the surface, separate some of the dirt so we can rinse it off nicely. Then I'll go in for my contact wash just to see how it reacts in that situation. Now with this sort of double layering, how it kind of just laid flat after a while and still sticks on there, let's see how well it rinses off, because again, it is doing a really good job of clinging to the panel. So is it gonna rinse off as well? Let's see. Yeah, zero issue. Again, this car is ceramic coated, so we do have to take that into account. But seems to come off really, really nicely. No issue at all. Let's see down the sides. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be leaving any sort of film. Again, it is coated, so that's definitely a factor. But I'm really, really happy with how this is performing currently. And again, even when I'm rinsing it off here, guys, it smells really good. It's not an overbearing smell, but you get wafts of like a really, really good scent. All right, guys, that is a good enough rinse. Let's move on to the contact wash. Again, 256 to 1 in the bucket. Let me see how slick it feels under the hand. All righty, guys, so here we go. Yeah, feels very slick. Again, man, I will have to do more testing with this just because this car is ceramic coated, right? So it's gonna feel slick anyway, but I do have to say it feels very, very slick. It does feel extremely good. I mean, just, yeah, the pad's just easily gliding along the surface. Zero issue. And guys, before I go on to the whole vehicle, let's go ahead and inspect some of it. As you can see here, all that debris that was on the vehicle, the dirt, dust, came off very nicely, just from that initial pre-rinse or pre-foam. User experience on that contact wash, very, very good. Let's go ahead and rinse it off. All right, guys, lighting started to get to be an issue, so I'm gonna go ahead and spray on the ceramic spray sealant, rinse the vehicle off, dry it, and then I'm gonna go ahead and pull it into the garage and we'll continue on from there. So this does state that I think it's just ready to use, even for each type of situation you want to use it, whether it be the quick detailer, drying it, or spray on, rinse off. Again, we're using spray on, rinse off. Let me prime the trigger. Nice. Let me smell this stuff. That's really good. What is this? I don't know what that is, and I don't condone smelling the chemicals, guys, but if you're going to be using them, they might as well smell good, just to increase your user experience. Anyways, we're just going to cover each panel. You don't have to go crazy with this. Typically, just you want good coverage, right? And this is something I'll have to play with, right? I may find over time that I need more or less sprays, but this is kind of my standard go-to. Man, this stuff smells really good. Gosh, it smells really good. Okay, that's enough of that. We're gonna go ahead and rinse it off. I'll dry it down, like I said, and pull it in. Guys, I just rinsed the top here, but I want to show you, you can actually see the chemical in it. Let's see here. I may have rinsed it off too much already. Hang on, we'll do the hood together. Well, never mind, I take that back. It was just that first spray. Everything else seems to be coming off really, really, oh, there you go. So you can see a little bit of color right here. But that's just in certain spots, and that's it. So I guess that potentially could be leftover soap residue, but I don't think so because that seemed to all come off really easy. So here we go. All right, guys, and one thing that I really like about like ceramic sprays, I typically use those as my quick detailer as well, because like for me, even my vehicle is ceramic coated with let's see here, what am I using? Geon Mohs Evo is what I have on this vehicle, and there's no like negative reaction at all here. Let's go ahead and look at the water behavior. Just comes right off. So this is a really nice sacrificial layer for a ceramic coating as well. So good to go. All right, guys, so we are back. We are in the garage now. The vehicle, like I said, I sprayed the ceramic spray sealant on it, did the final rinse, then dried it, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. I have my phone mounted here, so I can show you guys a close-up of the panel. It came out absolutely perfect. Sometimes when you do that sort of spray on, rinse off, you can get a little bit of leftover on the panel where it wants a streak or whatever else, and this didn't do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys that real quick. And then we'll go ahead and use that same ceramic spray sealant as our quick detailer now that the vehicle is dry, see how that works. All right, guys, so as you can see, here are the panels. Looking absolutely fantastic. No issues with any sort of residue left behind. Everything looks really, really good. So again, I want to reiterate this many, many times, right? This vehicle is ceramic coated, so do keep that in mind, and I will be testing this more and more, but this, again, is just my initial impressions. So everything's looking really good. Let's go ahead and test it now as a ceramic, quick detailer type of system. So now that we can see the paint's looking great, we're gonna go ahead and use it as a quick detailer, and then we're gonna go ahead and go on to the wheels and tires, and we're gonna take it and we're gonna apply the tire dressing to these. These things are all nice and clean. There's no residue built up on them. They're all clean and fresh, ready to go. Same with the back ones and the other side. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right, guys, now for this, I have my ceramic spray sealant here. I have a nice microfiber towel here. How I like to do this, for my quick detailer spray, I wanna control the environment as much as possible. I'm working in a garage, it's no problem, but I'm also a mobile detailer, and a lot of times I'm working out in the elements. What that means is sometimes I'm working with some weather, right? Meaning specifically in this scenario, I'm talking about wind. So when I apply this stuff, or any quick detailer or anything else, I wanna control where it goes. So I usually step away from the vehicle, spray into the towel, and then come back and wipe. The last thing you wanna do is come over here, spray onto the vehicle, especially if you're working outside, and then the overspray from the spray goes all over everything else to where you may not remember where it went. It's not gonna leave the surface as perfect as you want it. So again, spray away, and then come in and wipe. So we have it on the towel here. The real purpose of this, it's not leaving any streaking at all. Let's load it up heavier. Again, I don't normally do that, but since we're testing this, So a little streak there, let's see if that flashes out. And it is slowly, let's see here. We're gonna come back across this way, flip the towel, and buff it out. So there have been cases where I've used some like heavier duty ceramic spray sealants, and they work great, but they go on a bit thick, and sometimes you're thinking, okay, well, because it's going on thick, is it more of a stout spray that's going to last longer? Again, guys, this stuff smells phenomenal. I'm just getting some scent from it, and it smells really good. But back to the stoutness of the product. On the website, it actually states that you don't want to use this on a weekly basis because it is a stout product. I think he says 6 to 12 months of protection from this, which is pretty fantastic. He states you can use it as a topper on a ceramic coated vehicle, but you don't want to use it weekly because it's so stout that if you use it weekly, it'll start rejecting itself because it's already protected. So that's a good thing to know. And really brings the value of this up as long as it actually lasts that long. So we will be testing that in future videos. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe down a couple more panels just to make sure that we're not getting any crazy streaking. I mean, like nothing. Maybe a tiny, tiny bit, but if it's that stout, it's wiping up so easily. Sorry guys, you were pointed down a little bit there. But man, I'm not even having to flip the towel really. As long as you control and don't overly saturate the area, like I did on that one spot on the hood, it wipes out very, very easily. I still have saturation here. Yeah, guys, I like it. I like it a lot. No complaints with it at all. Let's get another spray and go onto the roof. So again, away from the vehicle. Good. Take it. All right. Now, I believe on the website it even says that this is direct sun friendly. You can work with it outside in the sun. And I could see that being the case because in here, I mean, again, when I'm talking about some other spray sealants I've used, they go on a bit thicker. This one's just laying on so nicely, zero issue. All right, guys, now final step for this test, right? We're using these 3 products. We're going with the tire dressing. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and shake it up just to make sure. For the applicator, I'm actually using a block scrubber from Auto Fiber. Typically, I use the Saver applicator pads for tires. I just don't have any here at home with me. So this is a nice microfiber applicator pad on one side. So it should be fine. We're gonna go ahead and pop the top, lay on, oh, it's a gel. It's more jelly than I thought. Interesting. Now, I think, if I remember well, it is solvent based. I think they said that on the website. With that, let's see if it says it on here. I don't see it. So with that though, we can get a little bit more longevity. There has been, in cases with, more generic style products, you can get some browning effect where dirt wants to stick to the surface with a silicone-based or solvent-based dressing. I don't think that's gonna be the case with this because I'm sure they've tested it like crazy. The only one downside of it is it body shops, and I don't think that's gonna be a big deal, but having a solvent in the air can affect paint jobs when they are spraying. You can get a little fish eyes and things like that. 99.9% of the time, no issue at all, guys. We're just detailing our cars here, right? This is maintenance, not during the painting, so shouldn't be an issue. But I've got the applicator pad ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my camera here too so you guys can get a nice close-up. All right, and here we go. So, wow, okay, so it lays on very, very nice, very smooth. It's already not overly, well, I mean, actually in this camera it looks nice and shiny. It's not overly shiny though. I can already tell it's gonna be a nice kind of a satin finish. Spreads out incredibly well. Let's get this inside track here. Okay. And one more wipe over the top just to spread everything out. Now, they do state on the website as well that this has a self-leveling agent in it. So it'll help to, keep everything nice and smooth. Now, it does say to let it cure for 10 minutes and then you can drive. And I mean, a lot of times, guys, when you apply a tire dressing, you'll get it kind of built up in the tread. This didn't do that at all. It looks absolutely phenomenal, really consistent all the way around. So far, so good. Let's go ahead and go to the back tire now. Do the same thing, but we're only gonna apply it to half of the tire so we can test longevity of this product. It's gonna kill me. It's gonna be on the driver's side too, so I'm always gonna see it. But that's what we do, right? That's how we test things. So We're gonna go ahead and head over to this back tire, and here we go. I mean, the consistency of this product is fantastic. It lays on super nice. No high spots, low spots, anything like that. It just seems to absorb into the tire really, really well. Again, these tires are prepped. But man, that looks fantastic. So here, we're trying to get a nice sharp line. Okay, so there. And then same thing down here, get a nice sharp line. All right, so there's coated versus not coated with the dressing. Again, guys, I'm very happy with how this is looking. It really, really lays up nicely. So we'll test it and see how long this lasts. But initial impressions, I mean, look at this tire, guys. Already, the front doesn't look overly shiny, extremely consistent, and just a nice dark finish. It does have a sheen to it, but that'll probably level out as well. I think it's kind of like the perfect mixture of shine. It's not overly shiny, but it's not dull either. It looks really, really good. All right, so what are my first impressions of the Clean by Pan the Organizer line of products? I have to say, guys, from the ones that I've used, right? I haven't used everything yet. From the 3 that I used today, I mean, again, we're gonna have to test the longevity and all that, but so far, I'm gonna give it a 10 of 10. Like, I really like the products. The shampoo, where is it? Here. Smells good, not overly bearing, but smells good. The cleaning ability was fantastic, nice and slick, worked really, really well. That, again, is how much better is it than another one? I'm gonna test this more and more, but so far, it did a phenomenal job. Again, that vehicle is ceramic coated, but did a great job removing the initial dust, dirt, debris from initial pre-foaming and then rinsing it off. Removed the majority of stuff. Again, not that dirty of a vehicle and ceramic coated. But the contact wash was very, very nice, very, very slick. I like it a lot. Now, when we move on to the ceramic spray sealant, for my purposes, it's fantastic. Smells really, really good. The spray-on rinse-off application was really good. Didn't leave any residue behind. That was nice and easy. And then again, using it as a quick detailer, there was no, it didn't leave anything behind. Unless you overly saturate it like I did on that hood, right? I sprayed on that one section. I had a little bit where I had to flip the towel and buff it off. Other than that though, if you just control your amount, man, it worked fantastic. As far as slickness goes, honestly, I didn't notice because the car is already very, very slick from the ceramic coating. This felt very slick under the hand, but that's something I'll have to test more down the road. But I absolutely love this product. Again, longevity, we will test because he does state 6 to 12 months, which is a big claim from a product that goes on that easy, I will say, right? It's a very, very easy product to apply. Now, they do state for maximum longevity of the product, you want it fully prepped, right? Clayed, polished, all that kind of stuff, so that there's nothing messing with the adhesion of this product. Will I get that kind of longevity on a ceramic coated vehicle? Pan, if you're watching this, let us know. I know it's a good sacrificial layer, but because it's already slick and things aren't gonna wanna stick to that ceramic coating as much, is this gonna sit on there as long as it would if it were a fresh surface? I'm assuming no, but again, because the product's so easy to apply, who cares, right? Really, really easy. And last but not least, the tire dressing. For me personally, I am a fan. My preferred tire dressing is water-based and sprayable, just for the ease of use, right? Especially on heavier treaded vehicles and things like that. It just makes it really easy. This is not that. This is applicator, you know, a little pop top here. With that said, the way that laid up on the tire is phenomenal. I really, really like it. The color of it right now, I'm looking over at it, not too shiny, not too dull, really, really consistent application. I did a bunch of different tire dressing tests on this vehicle, and some of them left it looking a little bit splotchy, right? This, extremely consistent on every one of them. We will test the longevity, like I said, on that back driver's side tire. We're gonna test the longevity on that and see how long it lasts, because I did half of it. Now, let's talk about the rest of these products here. Okay, so we got this one out of the way, this one out of the way, and this one out of the way. Okay, this was a confusing one to me. I think when you launch a product line, it was interesting to me that he included a panel prep. And then I started thinking, and a polish, right? A lot of times, you go with more your basic necessities, right? I'm doing a basic wash on this, and I had 3 products to choose from. Nothing really for the interior, you know, specifically at least. With that said, I started thinking, okay, we've got a panel prep, a polish, a rinseless, a regular shampoo, tire dressing, and a ceramic spray. He was building this, it seems like to me, because of these 2 ceramic coatings. Now, I've heard great things about these. I'm going to be testing these on upcoming videos. The 3-year, which one is this? Okay, so the 3-year, I'm gonna do a side-by-side comparison with C6 Hydrolite, Cerakote, and this, right? I think that's a fair comparison between the 3. So I'll do that on a hood, compare them all 3 side by side, and we'll test that over time. For the 8-year, I'm gonna go straight to my wife's Ram Rebel. I'm gonna strip that down, put this on there, and see how it lasts. Because it's she's out on the road all the time, so I want something super stout on there. From what I've heard, this is great, so I'm excited to test that out on that. Let's go on to, so the panel prep. Smells like, yeah, it smells like an alcohol-based product, which I'm sure that's what it is, right? That's when it's gonna strip the residual stuff that's on the panel. It's gonna pull that off. Smells good though. There is a hint of something else in there. Smells like it's going to work. Sometimes they don't smell like that and you're kind of guessing like, is this actually removing everything? That smells like it's gonna work. Spray polish. Haven't tested this yet, but I absolutely love spray polishes. They actually state you can use this as a compound, just pairing it with a more aggressive pad. The only downside I have of spray polishes is the consistency. If it sits too long, it can kind of gum up the trigger. So we'll be testing that over time. Not the end of the world, right? The reason, I think the benefit far outweighs that little problem. You can always switch out your trigger if you need to. But the benefit of a sprayable, man, it makes it so easy to prime your pad before polishing. You get nice, consistent, even coverage. Fantastic stuff. And then the rinseless, obviously, is just another way to care for it. If you don't want to go with the shampoo, you have a rinseless option there. This stuff is unbelievable how good it smells. I'm really, really looking forward to using this. Again, not overbearing, but man, it smells phenomenal. One of the best products I've ever smelt. I would say Kokemi, guys, has a ton of products I really like the smell. Their Christmas scent for their gentle snow foam, it's called GFX. I love that smell. Active foam, I love that smell. This has a little bit more of a, man, fruity scent, I guess. I don't know, not really fruity, but fantastic smell. I'm not a huge rinseless guy. I don't use a ton of it. I just did a video on that using Kokemi's rapid rinseless wash. So I will be testing this out as well and seeing how that works. But overall, guys, Pan, if you're watching this, man, I'm impressed. From the 3 that I've used here so far, I really like it. If we can develop this into something as a sprayable version, just a thought. Again, not an aerosol, just a sprayable version. It's not super thick. I almost wonder if it would spray. We'll test that again down the road. But with that said, phenomenal performance of this stuff so far on the application. We'll test the longevity. But that's it for today's video, guys. I'm going to link all this stuff down in the description for you. If you use code I'mJoshV, it'll get you 10% off on thehouseofrags.com, including the Clean by Pan the Organizer line of products. So, yeah, again, first impression. We're going to test this over the long term, see how it holds up. But so far, I am impressed. That's it for today's video, guys. Please make sure to like the video, make sure you subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and we will see you on the next one.